And we're live, right on time. 6:50. Didn't start too much late, just a few seconds, though I did not get Facebook ready. So Facebook is falling behind. Give me a second. Let me pull up Facebook. So hello everyone on YouTube. We are gonna finish season 1 tonight. I had a fun Arkansas, Mississippi trip. Yep. Okay. I have no. Okay, let's see. Let me get to my live streams. I have to text someone and let them know that we're live. Events. All right. Well, everyone on YouTube, if you're just joining in, I'm not trying to bore you or anything. I'll get talking. Just give me a second. Happening now. Yes, go live. Okay, come on. Come on. Come on. I'll start talking. I don't want to repeat myself. I'll start talking as soon as I get Facebook. And now we're live on Facebook. Okay, for Facebook people out there, I started YouTube right at 6:50, not on the dot. It was a few seconds late, but nevertheless, I started on time. For you guys, I'm sorry I started 1 minute late. There was only enough minutes to fix all the problems and then start YouTube on time. I didn't pull up Facebook. I got rid of Facebook by mistake, and then I pulled up YouTube and had it ready to start right at 6:50, and then I had to go back into Facebook and start Facebook's live stream. Luckily, Facebook's not the one with problems usually. It's usually YouTube that has the problems. So thank goodness. Close unused application. Your live stream is experiencing performance issues. Okay, let's hope we don't have to worry about that. Yeah, so guys, this is our first night of 4 episodes. Do you remember when I said we were doing 3 episodes a week, but I said occasionally we would have to do 4? We are coming at the end of the season, and with only 4 episodes left of the season, who would watch 3 episodes and not finish the season with the finale, right? It makes more sense to just finish the season tonight instead of watching 3 episodes and then finishing season 1 and starting season 2 next Sunday. That's not, no. We're going to finish season 1 tonight. So no Q&A. I know none of you guys send me comments anyway. None of you guys send me questions anyway. So at least that gives me less worry on what to talk about, because we're just going to be watching the episodes, and that will be it for tonight. For everyone in Utah, we'll be going live till 10 o'clock instead of 9:30 as usual. We'll be going till 10 o'clock instead. We're not doing our usual time today. We're going to finish the season. So with 4 episodes, we're going to get started pretty quickly. We don't want to fall behind in whatever category. We want to be done right at 10 so you guys can get to sleep. I'm all the way here in Arkansas, so for the time zone here, it's 8 to 11. So yes, I'm going to be up late finishing the season with you guys. Let me text someone really quick. I need to text someone. It looks like my live stream works better in Mississippi than it does in Arkansas. The YouTube live stream is working. Go ahead and start watching. By the way, I didn't have time to text you. I was so busy to send a reminder. I'm so sorry. But I was able to start the YouTube one on time. I did not start late. I started at 6:50. We are watching the rest of season 1, episodes 19 through 22. I have a cousin who watches the show, and I know he watches it, so I just got to make sure he knows. We are watching the rest of season 1, episodes 19 through 22. I know we normally do 3 episodes, but tonight we have to do 4 because we're almost done with the season, and it doesn't make sense to stop right before the last episode of the season. No Q&A tonight. 4 episodes. The live stream will end at 10 o'clock Utah time, but it's going to be 11 o'clock Mississippi time. All right. 11 o'clock Mississippi time. All right. I told my cousin. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about my trip. I'm sorry I didn't send a reminder for everyone on Facebook, but I was so busy. I just barely around 5 o'clock finished making all my visits for the trip. I visited it. Some members don't live around here anymore. Some didn't answer the door, and then others weren't. We were advised not to visit because life is hectic right now. So anyway, I didn't get to visit everyone I wanted to see, but out of everyone who was available, I got to at least try seeing everybody. I at least all the ones that were either not home, moved, or had a hectic situation, I at least tried knocking on their door or even asked around to see if it was okay to visit them. So anyway, we had tried everyone, not everyone answered basically. And so anyway, I just finished up all my visits around 5 p.m., so I'm pretty much done for the trip. My favorite area, so last week we were in Hope, Arkansas, I told you. Our trip kind of goes as like this. We had an 8-hour delay flight. We were supposed to get to Little Rock on Saturday night, but we didn't get there till Sunday morning because of the delay. We still made it to the Hope Ranch Church, though, if you remember. We were going to spend 2 nights in Hope, but since we missed one and we didn't get refunded, we still wasted money on this trip. Nevertheless, it was worth the pay because this is where I served my LDS mission. So with that said, on Sunday night we spent the night in Hope. So we still got 1 night in Hope, even though we missed the first night. The first night was really just in the airport. We spent 1 night in Hope, and then we spent 1 night in Jonesboro, but we left early morning on Monday morning to go straight to Little Rock. No. That's right. We spent a night in Little Rock. Now, Little Rock was not one of my areas. I only served in 3 areas in the South: Mississippi, Jonesboro, Arkansas, and Hope, Arkansas. And so anyway, Boonville, Mississippi, by the way, sorry. So yeah, those are the only 3 areas I served in, but we went to 6 different hotels. And so I know that's not normal vacation. You stay at one hotel, you stay there the whole week, but I wanted to get through all my areas and visit all the people I could. So we spent the first night in Hope, and then we went to Little Rock, spent the night in Little Rock because my parents had wanted to go sightseeing around there. So it wasn't much about visiting people from my mission. It was just cool sights to see. And then we also went to mission office. I found out I was 8 cousins twice removed from the mission president, President Larson. So that was nice to talk, shake his hand, show us the mission board and his mission office, and take a picture by the sign. So yeah, spent the night in Little Rock. Then we went all the way to Jonesboro. We went straight there on Tuesday morning. That's when we went straight there. Hope, Arkansas, I think we did the same thing. We went straight to Little Rock so my parents can do more sightseeing. But on Tuesday morning, we went straight to Jonesboro because we needed 2 days in Jonesboro, and we only had 1 night hotel. So we had to try to get there as quick as we can so we can have all of Tuesday and all of Wednesday, and then spending late Wednesday night getting to our next location, which was Memphis, Tennessee. But yeah, we spent 2 days in Jonesboro, but 1 night. We slept only 1 night in Jonesboro. Just so 1 night in Hope, 1 night in Little Rock, 1 night in Jonesboro. And then we spent Wednesday night in Memphis because we were going to the temple the very next morning. We did 2 sessions, sealings and endowment. We didn't do all 4 sessions. Turns out when you go to the temple in the South, they don't do sessions every half an hour. There's only like a couple sessions a day. So we only got to do 2 ordinances in the morning. And then we did the Elvis tour in the afternoon. And then we went to New Albany, just rested because we were exhausted after going to 4 hotels. We rested in New Albany. I had an elder who went home early, and the missionary that was left behind got put with us in Boonville, Mississippi. So we got to spend some time in New Albany. So I guess I kind of did serve in 4 areas. Sadly, I only had a small list of people I wanted to visit because I didn't know the area very well, but I knew it a little bit because we were with this other elder for like 3 weeks before the next transfers. So out of the few people we did have, only 2 people answered, so New Albany almost wasn't worth stopping, but we did anyway, and those 2 people I would say were worth seeing because they were nice. It was nice seeing their faces again, and they were happy to see me. Most people didn't recognize me with the blonde hair, but after I showed them an old picture and explained what happened, they were able to recognize me. The people in Hope didn't need the explanation. They knew me when I mentioned the seizure because that's how I came home, and that's where I had the seizure. But everyone else, I had to explain the blonde hair and how it happened. It kind of surprised them, and it was hard getting used to for some people. But anyway, so yeah, we spent the night in New Albany. We rested for that whole entire evening since we didn't want to make our visits that night. We did get there a little early. We left Jonesboro probably around 3 or 4 in the afternoon. We got to New Albany probably close to 6, but we wanted to rest for the night. So then we made our visits the next morning. And then later that afternoon, since there wasn't a lot and only 2 answered anyway, only 2 people, 2 households we got to spend time with, we went straight to we went straight to Boonville on Friday night. And then from there, so, so we spent one night in Hope, one night in Little Rock, one night in Jonesboro, one night in Memphis, one night in New Albany. So that's Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, Thursday night. Friday night, we went to Boonville. And so, and then that was the one area we spent 3 nights in because that was the first area I served in, and that was the last stop. So after Friday night, we didn't go anywhere else. So don't worry. We stayed Saturday night. We were able to finally unpack our luggage because we know we weren't moving. And then now we're spending tonight. This is our 3rd and final night, and then we're heading back home tomorrow. So yes, it was a fun trip, and we got to visit a lot of people, go to a lot of wards, a lot of sacrament meetings. Hope was the first Sunday. We still made it to sacrament on time, so that was good. And then we just went to Boonville. So the only wards we didn't get to go to was New Albany branch and Jonesboro branch, but that's okay. We went door to door visiting all the members. And I don't know the Little Rock one, and I don't know the Memphis one. We just went there for the temple and the mission office, really, and for my parents to go sightseeing. So, yeah, so that's why. New Albany was easy to eliminate because I was only there for 3 weeks. It was hard choosing between Boonville, Jonesboro, and Hope, but luckily it made sense because if my mission is like a U, you have like Hope over here, Jonesboro up here, and Boonville right here. It makes sense to go to church here, come up here in the middle of the week, and go to the other side of you at the end of the week. It doesn't make sense to go to church here. That's just weird. So it was good that out of the 3 wards, my favorites were logically reasonable. So we wouldn't be able to go to the Jonesboro ward if I chose Jonesboro. Otherwise, it would be zigzag. So, and yes, the wards have changed since I last served here. So that makes sense why I didn't go. Whoop. Anyway. So yes, it was a fun trip. I'm gonna miss it. After this live stream tonight, I go to bed and the trip ends in the morning. So I don't want this live stream to end, guys. This is the last exciting thing of the trip. So let's please not let it end here. Okay. I just realized at 7:03 we got to get started. I talked too long about my vacation. I have a cousin who's watching right now, and he's probably like, "When are we starting the show? Stop talking about Arkansas." And yeah. Enough about my mission. Once upon a time, it's not like a vacation. You can watch it whenever you want. Boonville, you can only stay for so long. Let's just get started here. So that's another thing. I X'd out of my Disney Plus and only had YouTube pulled up when I got started right at 6:50. For people on Facebook, you only started at 6:51. You were only 1 minute late. So yeah. Then again, I'm saying that because I know most of you are from Utah. If you're watching this from Boonville, Mississippi, then you know the drill. 7:50, 7:51, whatever the live stream started at. But yeah, if we don't start now, we can't finish at 10. So if we want to finish at 10 Utah time or 11 Boonville, Jonesboro, Arkansas, Hope, Arkansas time, we got to get started. Come on, Disney Plus. So yeah, as you know, push episode 19. Do it ahead of time while I'm trying to get there. Push episode 19. When it's done loading, you know the drill. Pause it, rewind it. I can't tell you how many seconds should be left on the clock to make sure you're at 0 seconds, so give me a second. Once upon a time. We're on episode 19. Restart. So right before we get started, this is where Once Upon a Time starts to change. The normal drill, the normal recap that ABC likes to do on season 1? This is where they stopped doing that. They did it for the first 18 episodes, and then they did a normal show recap. So what I'm trying to say is, when you watch the episodes, you know how ABC says, "Once upon a time, an evil queen cast a powerful curse that trapped everyone in our world. Who knows the truth and who will break the spell?" Or there's a town in Maine where every storybook character you ever known is trapped between two worlds, victims of a powerful curse. Who knows the truth? Who will break the spell? You know that? They don't do that anymore after episode 18. I know the show so well, trust me. This is where, when we start episode 19, it's going to say previously on Once Upon a Time. It's going to say previously on Once Upon a Time. And so that's why I'm letting you know the recap. Most shows you watch usually say previously on so and so, previously on so and so. They don't normally do a special recap like Once Upon a Time does. And so anyway, that special recap ends after episode 18. So now with us starting on episode 19, you're getting the normal show recap, which is just previously on Once Upon a Time. No, Once Upon a Time and Evil Queen cast. They don't do that after episode 18. So all right. With that said, we are going to start episode 19. It's 7:06. I am sorry for starting a few minutes late, but at least the live stream started on time. I just needed to tell you about Arkansas. So, all right. So the timestamp should be 43 minutes and 49 seconds left. And so if that's what it says on your clock, if not, then you're going to have to pause the live stream because I'm not waiting any longer to get started. Not when I say one, but when I say now. If your clock's at 43 minutes and 49 seconds, we're going to push play in 3, 2, 1, now. On a time. It's about time we break the curse. We're coming to the end of the season, and as I spoiled on the first episode, the curse breaks at the end of season 1. If you thought it was going to be the end of the series, I'm sorry I ruined your hopes. But don't worry, they have plans for season 2s, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I'm not going to spoil those. All right. We're just episodes away from breaking the curse, though. If this is the last 4 episodes, things are going down big time. And the evil queen will finally lose, right? Or do you think it's because we have other seasons that she's going to win? Who knows? August is having a hard time getting up because his legs are turning into wood. The boy is so smart. Henry's a distraction. Why? August sneaks in Mr. Gold's back shop. August, you're lying. You're lying. You're after something. we're we're also gonna find out who this stranger is that showed up at the end of Hansel and Gretel's episode. August, he's been around I told you he's a fairy tale character. You haven't figured out who he is yet. You'll find out tonight. It's gonna happen. The evil queen, right? Rumpel and Regina's deal did not go well because Catherine was supposed to die and Snow and Mayor Margaret was supposed to take the blame. Rumpel and Regina are not on the same team. Figure it out. Why did he want Regina to cast the curse? Here's our flashback. Remember Bellfire from the first half of the season? Rumpel's son, who Rumpel turned into the Dark One to save him from fighting in the war. This is that these events take place after that. Rumble. It was an accident. Speaking of turning people into snails from the Regina and Rumpel conversation, he did exactly that back in the day. Okay, this is kind of murder, so sorry for the violence here. Stepping right on that snail. Oh my goodness, he's a murderer. Yeah, making yourself into a dark one does turn you evil. Yep, Rumpel became an evil person after he became the dark one. You want to know how his son's not around? You'll find out in this episode. David and Catherine, aren't we tired of this storyline? Once the curse breaks, everyone will know who they're married to. It's not David and Catherine. It's David and Snow. Mhm. I think I would have been with this woman. Huh. Like I said, back in episode 13 when Catherine started going missing. Mhm. Hey, at least they got to make peace with each other, Catherine and David. But one thing I wish we got to see was Number Frederick, that episode, when the episode where Catherine goes missing at the end. Frederick found her car and she was missing. We don't see Frederick come reuniting with her, even when the curse breaks. So I wish we kind of got to see that, her and Frederick. But this show keeps track of so many characters, it's easy to lose a bunch. you know, If Storybrooke was a real town, it'd be cool to serve a mission here. We could convert all these fairy tale characters to the gospel. There's so again, speaking of complex and so many characters on the show, there's so many people and potentials of baptism here. Trust me, I know these people are not members of the church either. So, Henry, just so glad you didn't kill Mrs. Nolan. She didn't. It's like they didn't believe her. There's David. Hey, David. David doesn't know that's his grandson right there, Henry. You trust August more than you trust Rumple. That's fair. You still owe him a favor from that Cinderella episode. I can't believe we're already getting to the. We're gonna finish season one. Didn't this marathon start just yesterday? What happened? And why is my vacation coming to an end? Time flies. I would have had a father like that. Build a castle in Boonville, Mississippi. Okay, fine. You want your father. That's more important. But okay, Rumple. I think he should get rid of his power. It's making him too evil. But if we're not taking this serious here and we're just joking around, if he was my father, I'd tell him to build a castle right here in Boonville, Mississippi, with all the money in the world, and I wouldn't need to find a job, and it'd be easy to move here. That's what we could do. Just kidding. Well, I am kind of serious, but I don't have a dark one magical father. But if Rumpel was really my father and I took it seriously, I don't know if I'd be that selfish. I'd be like Bellfire. I would want my father back, not my evil father, my good father. Rumpel's now snooping. I think it's fair because August snooped around his shop. Now he has to snoop around August's apartment. And he drew the dagger. Yeah. Did Rumpel find his son? His long lost son? Sydney, you wanted to take her down. Now you don't. Everyone knows he's a double agent. He's double crossing everybody. First Regina, then Emma, then Regina. Sydney, I would help Emma. I wouldn't go down with Regina. I wouldn't work for her. You're only going to go to jail with her by the end of the season if you don't. Sorry, I was hearing my mom. I was wondering who she was talking to. Kids, sword fighting. Sweet. Aw, the kids are scared of him. Even though he's not a bad kid, Bellfire's sweet. It's only because he's the son of a dark one, and any kid who plays with him is at risk of getting killed by Rumple, and so they are all scared. Oh, poor Bellfire. He's in a sticky situation. He can't make friends because of his father. He might if you hurt Bellfire. This girl has a crush on Bellfire. They're probably close friends. No, she's scared of Rumple. even though she said she wasn't. You, Rumpel. Bellfire's like so upset that Rumpel killed the maid. See, he's evil. He's violent. He's making a lot of sins right now in the flashback. Well, maybe in the present too. He helped do the abduction thing on Catherine stuff. Rumpel thinks that's his son. Yep. I'm not going to spoil anything, so I'll be quiet there. I'll let this episode tell you what's really going on. Balefire came in contact with the Blue Fairy. I wanted to wait until she appeared on screen so I didn't spoil. Blue Fairy and Balefire once crossed paths. She must be 100 years old too, because Rumpel is like 300 and he's immortal. So if she was alive back then she's immortal too, because she was in the flashback when Emma was put in the wardrobe. So the fairies live on forever like dark ones do. Yep. You're the part of him. Yep. Bellfire is the light inside Rumpel that still glows, like the little small speck of like Christ-like love that's still in there. No one can ever be evil forever. There's room for repentance, no matter how bad they are. Bellfire helps keep that repentance alive, kind of thing. Magic bean that can open portals. Magic beans are rare. I bet you're asking the question. Wait, the Mad Hatter. Why didn't the Evil Queen just use a magic bean instead of the Mad Hatter in episode 17? Well, that's because magic beans are rare to find. It's much easier to steal a Mad Hatter than it is to find a magic bean. We're halfway through the episode. David, you should have believed her. You should have stuck with her and not believed that she killed Catherine. We all know she's a good person. Though it's not his fault. He had his fairy tale memories mixed with his real world memories. That's still not a good excuse. I know, you're probably sick of this drama. David's been kind of a jerk, but it's all because of the curse, and you'll see why in the coming episodes leading up to the curse breaking. No, he never breaks a deal. Come on, Rumpel. Now, he did say to Regina that he broke one deal in his life, and it wasn't the one between him and Regina. So was it this deal that he broke? He says no now, but let's keep watching the flashback and you'll see. That's what he's normally here for, the rent. He wants an appointment, a psychosis appointment with Dr. Hopper. That's a little extreme to be angry at your parents. There is no other way. You tell the truth, or it will be an unfixed relationship. It'll be broken. Rumpel is rarely ever getting help from a Jiminy Cricket or Dr. Hopper. He never usually goes to him for help. That's really rare. This is probably the only episode he does that. Here we go. Confrontation. Here we go. Let's see how it goes. Trust me, it's not a big plot reveal the way you think it is. Just wait. You'll see. It gets more exciting in season 2, actually. This is the first time you've ever seen a portal on a show. Is this episode right here. We've seen the Mad Hatter's hat. We've seen the curse trap everyone in the real world, but never have you seen a magic beam portal open before. Kinda scary, right? Imagine it's a underground tornado. A tornado portal. We get tornadoes in the South, actually. Luckily, we came during a week when it wasn't tornado season. Yeah, you promised. You break it down. I know the show too well, sorry. Had to quote that. Oh, no. We'll see this happen a lot. This flashback, it haunt Rumple a lot in the show, so that's why those lines are so familiar. He fell through the portal. Rumple abandoned his own son. Now, where has that happened before? Oh, Snow and Charming abandoned Emma. Emma abandoned Henry. Parents abandoned their child on the show. Okay, it's not funny. I shouldn't be laughing. Sorry. Oh, no, he regrets it. He regrets it. He regrets it. He wishes he went in the portal with Bellfire. He wishes he went in the portal with Bellfire. Too late. You made your decision. You abandoned him. Rumple's here's Rumple being honest right now. You may feel emotional and crying right now, but trust me, it's not going to be worth it. All this honesty is going to be a waste of time. You'll see. Wait a second. Sorry, I should stop spoiling. Sounds emotional now, but wait until later. I hope this episode gets to the chase. It doesn't slow down too long. I mean, we only got 10 minutes left, so. I would not. Oh, wait. Oh, wait. I'll be quiet. I'll be quiet because what I was about to say was going to spoil. I don't think you can destroy it that easily. This should have been saved for season two. I'll just say that. It's a little too early in the show to have this reunion. Here it comes. This is the big reveal. This is why you should have not got emotional earlier. Just listen. Shh. Uh oh. It doesn't work in a land without magic. Like I said, this is the world without magic, so his powers don't work here. You're not my son. See, 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 see. Sorry if I kind of hinted at that earlier. I didn't mean to spoil too much. Exactly. Exactly. See, I told you this was too early. This doesn't happen until season 2, and even when season 2 comes around, it doesn't become this emotional. It becomes a family train wreck. Honestly, all this honesty was a waste because when the real Bellfire comes back, it's going to be a little bit of a lie. All the time he was being honest to the wrong man. Yep, he's from the fairy tale world. I told you he was a fairy tale character, but he's not Rumple's son. I knew that from the start. I just didn't want to spoil it. So, who is this stranger, August W. Booth? He's not a serial killer because of the Wayne part, right? And he's not Rumple's son. Yep. She's not believing one bit. Yep. He's dying. He's not going to live long enough to see Emma believe. He's given up and he went to the extreme of playing Rumple's son to do it. That was selfish of him. Remember, oh, sorry. I don't want to spoil that either. That's next episode. He's going to die either way. Rumple's not going to kill him for pretending to be his son, mainly because he's going to die either way. I bet you're wondering what is August dying from. You'll find out in the next episode. Destroy the fairy tale world just to get to his son. Rumple's throwing a tantrum. Oh, hurting the fairy. Get out of here. Get out of here. That's how the curse was made. He used the curse. He couldn't cast it because the person he loves most is in the real world. So he ended up using Regina to kill her father and to cast this curse that brought everyone here. Now you know why everything is set in place. Emma's not talking about Sydney. His words are not his words at all. It's Regina's words. This is important. This is an important cliffhanger. Listen. Emma's so upset with how everything went down with Mary Margaret being framed. Exactly. Exactly. Listen. She's a psychopath. Yes, let's go. The war is on. All right, that's the end of that episode. Go ahead, push to the next one, but pause it really quick because I want to say a couple things. Before we say anything, I still need to pause my screen. It's loading. Okay, pause it. Okay. If you rewind it 10 seconds, your timestamp should be 43 minutes and 48 seconds. But before we start episode 20, and there's no recap, I just saw. So yes, the war is on. So after everything that went down with Mary Margaret getting framed and Catherine being found alive and all that messy drama, violent, right? Kind of a little violent for a kids show in some ways, but anyway, Emma knows. We all know Regina's behind it. Anyone that she uses, is just, is just her pawn, and they're just a pawn in her game, and so they know it's Regina. Everyone she uses is just being set up. Sydney did not do all that. It was Regina. Regina probably put him up to it, or she did it herself. So everyone knows by this point, Regina's behind all this crap. Framing Mary Margaret, trying to kill someone, trying to take someone Emma loves, even though Snow White and Emma don't know that they're mother and daughter yet. Mary Margaret and Emma, I mean, because they don't know she doesn't know she's Snow White. But we are literally 3 episodes left of the season, so 3 episodes left before the curse breaks, and Emma being all fed up about it, she's not having it anymore, and so she's like, you try to take someone I love. Now I'm taking someone you love. I'm taking back my son. Emma's going to fight for full custody of Henry Mills, and Regina's adopted mother, and Henry's adopted mother will no longer be her adopted mother if she wins the rights back to her own son. So the war is on between custody, um, between mother and mother. It's kind of interesting. And I have a cousin watching this who can probably understand what I'm saying, but not to name names for privacy reasons. But I have a blonde aunt and a dark aunt, and they share custody of 2 sons, 2 cousins of mine. And the dark hair is not evil, obviously. So this does not relate to Regina and Emma, but that's kind of like them. Just imagine my 2 aunts fighting together for custody over 2 cousins. Anyway, so that's kind of funny. Emma, Regina fighting over the custody of Henry. Who's the best mother? Who should be Henry's mother from now on? The war is on, and along with breaking the curse as well, the battle is on, guys. We're down to the final 3 episodes. Things are about to go down. So be ready. Get tissues. There's going to be a lot of crying. There's going to be a lot of fighting. The epic battle of good versus evil is about to get very intense. If it was slow at first, things are picking up really quick. The reason why the curse is not going to be breaking at the end of the season is because now that I can say this, because it's not a spoiler anymore, August is not Rumple's son. And in the next episode, you're going to find out who August really is. But the confrontation between Rumple and his real son does not happen until season 2, which is why I was almost going to say, without trying to spoil it too much, that back when August was trying to pretend to be Rumple's son, I was like, I would not pretend to be Rumple's son if I were in August's shoes. Honestly, if I wanted to get the curse broken already, I wouldn't be selfish like that. There's something else I want to say, but it's going to spoil what's going to happen in the next episode, so I won't say it. But yeah, I would not try to pretend to be Rumple's son, because you're in big trouble. You risk at losing your own life, knowing how evil and dark Rumple is. When he turned people into snails back in the day and killed them. So anyway, you do not want to mess and be on Rumple's bad side, because he's evil. So never pretend to be his son, because the moment he will find out, and the moment he finds out, you be ready for him to end your life. So Luckily, August is already dying from something, so Rumpel decides to let him go. But yeah, you're gonna find more about. We've been having this stranger around for almost half the season since he showed up in episode 9. So we're about to find out who he is in this next episode, and so without further ado, we'll start it. But one last thing I want to mention is that now we have the Mary Margaret and Catherine thing out of the way. If you were sick of Mary Margaret getting framed, that storyline's over now. We're focused on almost breaking the curse now. And yeah, like I said, it's a good thing it's going to be broken in season 1 because there's a lot. If this were to not break till the series finale, you'd have leave so many questions unanswered. I mean, it could be answered during the curse, but it doesn't make sense plot wise because why make a curse if like for example, Rumpel finding his son? Why make a curse if he's not going to remember who you are? Or he will because he went to the real world before Rumpel cast the curse. So Bellfire still remembers who he is. He's somewhere out there in the real world, but like who um but like I don't know. It just doesn't make sense for him to find his son while the curse is unbroken. I mean, I guess that could still make a good plot, and that could make sense. But if you remember in the curse, anyone who tries to leave Storybrooke, something bad happens to them. And so, since no one can leave Storybrooke, Rumple wouldn't be able to leave Storybrooke to find his son, regardless. And yes, Rumple's son is not in Storybrooke, so that's why Anyway, so the curse has to technically be broken in order for Rumpel to find his son. So then that way he can leave Storybrooke and go to the real world to find his son. So yes, so yeah, that's why the curse can't break at the end of the series. There's stuff that needs to go down in season 2, a father and son reunion. What are the fairy tale characters going to do with Regina once they find out the curse is broken and she's powerless without magic in the real world? There's a lot of things that goes on in season 2, and it's everything in season 2 sets up for season 3 and so on. So anyway, that's why the curse can't last the entire series, because there's other great plot lines that follow after the curse breaks, and so that's why it needs to be broken in season 1. So without further ado, we're going to get another episode closer to the end of the season. I bet you're excited for the curse to break. I am too, but we got to start the next episode because now it's 7:55, and as far as my math is concerned, that keeps us up till 10:05 Utah time. So we're already going to make this live stream longer than it has to be. So I should stop talking and get started with the next episode. So yes, if your timestamp is 43 minutes and 48 seconds, we're going to start episode 20 called The Stranger. And not when I say 1, but when I say now. This episode is going to be about August. So if you've been dying to know who he is, you'll find out right now in this episode. So 3, 2, 1, now. She gets custody of Henry. She gets custody of Henry. Is Emma ready to be Henry's mom? She wasn't ready to be a mother when he was born. Is she ready to be a mother now? Is the question. This is a happy ending waiting to happen. Someone needs to, this can be related to the gospel. Imagine if this was someone trying to teach you the gospel, and yeah, I don't have time for faith. That's every make time to have faith and hope. Everyone should make time for Christ. Hmm. We're getting the story of Pinocchio. Pinocchio, a wooden boy. Giant well. If you remember watching Disney's Pinocchio, you know how that story ends. They try to escape a giant well. They get trapped inside, but then when they get back out, they try to escape his chase on them. Aww, he got too wet. He's not alive. He's too wet. I don't know. It doesn't say to do that with the bedding. It just says to do it with the towels. He's a real boy. That's a happy ending. It's gonna get you teary eyed. I told you to bring tissues. Mm-hmm. Aw. Now I think you know who August is. He's not Rumple's son, remember? Why don't you just go to his shop? This is important. Plot reveal. His sickness is not a sickness. It's his leg. It's turning into wood. He's Pinocchio. That's who he really is, not Rumple's son, Pinocchio. That's what I was waiting for you guys to see. He's Pinocchio. He's that real boy that's turning back to wood now. So happy ending for the flashbacks, sad ending for the present. If the curse doesn't break, he doesn't stay real. Snow, Mary Margaret is such a hard soul. I don't know if I would do that in her shoes. You forgive Regina, even though she's lying to your. Mhm. You should listen to her. The more evil you do, you'll just leave a giant hole in. You'll leave a giant hole in your heart. Huh, Regina. Maybe it's about time you be good for once. Stop being evil, the evil queen. Hey, season one's coming to an end. Maybe it's a great time for a fresh start in season two, don't you think? Henry, that's mean. Don't. That's not what's. Mayor Margaret didn't mean to do it. To think Henry's mom was evil. Yes, good will win. Henry is pulling a lot of guts to say that to his mom. Look at this. Aw, August, who's not cursed, who knows he's Pinocchio, but his father doesn't know that that's his son. That must be hard. As long as the curse doesn't break, people don't know their loved ones or who they are. It's a sign saying that it's about time for that curse to break, don't you think? Fair enough. Yeah, since you were saying to you were trying to be Rumple's son, I don't. Yeah, it is a big ask because he just lied to Rumple about being his son, and so why would Rumple? after what he's been through, trust him to get Emma Swan to believe. Well, he did agree to it, but I'm surprised Rumpel has enough faith and trust in the guy who claimed to be his son and lied about it. What a waste of reunion, right? Season 2 will have a real reunion between Rumpel and his son. It was a joke. That's Emma Swan. She's been 28 for months now. It's time for her to break the curse. He could actually help her, but he did this so he can lead her to getting to August to help. It's part of their deal. Rumpel's trusting August to get Emma to believe. Emma's desperate. Show me the big picture, August. He's Pinocchio. That's the big picture. It's fairy tale land. Everyone's a fairy tale character. Henry wasn't lying. Regina is taking an interest in Charming. No, that's pushing it. You're pushing it too far, Regina. Just be happy that he drove you home. Exactly. It's empty. It Didn't you see that? It was empty. She's lying. She's just trying to Regina's just saying that for David to change his mind. Regina, David's already taken. When the curse breaks, he's married to Snow White, so you can't take any interest in him. He's a married man. Maybe not under the curse. He broke up with Catherine, but you lose your boy either way because you spent 28 years without him. Ouch. Yep. he po- he poisoned his parents, remember? Before he turned into a cricket. Jiminy Cricket's immortal because he was older than this guy when he was a kid. But now this guy's an old adult and Jiminy Cricket's still around. So Pinocchio goes through and no one does. Yep. They have a deal. We all know Emma gets into the wardrobe. Remember this from the pilot? And now we know who we now know because mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yep. Remember that's how it all started in the pilot. A choice must be made. Who should be saved? Who should be safe from the curse? We all know it's Emma. We've seen the pilot. Of course, back then we didn't know who Pinocchio was in the real world, and then now we know he's August, and August and Emma both came to this world outside of Storybrooke, and they're leaving Storybrooke now as we speak, because they're allowed to leave town since they weren't cursed. That's why nothing bad's happened to them. Now this sounds like a story of like a prompting from the Holy. Oh wait, that's like a prompting from the Holy Ghost. That sounds like a prompting from the Holy Ghost. You leave your phone somewhere and your Holy Ghost prompts you to go back. Regina's lying about all this, by the way. It's all yeah. The universe did not want to find you. Want you to find him. That's just all the curse memories. Regina lying. Yeah, Regina. David's making the right choice here. He knows not to fall for you. Yeah, yeah. She's mad. She can't get what she wants. The curse is breaking now. The curse used to design to give Regina everything she wanted, and when she tries to do that, it doesn't work on David. She never wanted to date and fall in love with David. Let's be clear. But oh, Regina. She's not the kind of person that would follow a prompting. Trust me. That is a cool story, though. I wish something like that happened in real life. That would be cool to hear. 10 minutes from saving someone's life. That's cool. Yeah, bad timing, I guess. Snow White ended up giving birth to Emma. We all know this happened in the pilot. This is why Snow or Charming didn't go with Emma to the portal. This is why Emma was an orphan. All because Geppetto sent his son through the wardrobe. And he was too little to take care of the baby. Hmm. Aw, this is sad. Geppetto saved his own son with the risk of Emma becoming an orphan. I mean, if you were in Geppetto's suit, mm, yeah. Oh boy, if you were in Geppetto's shoes, would you listen to the Blue Fairy and let Emma keep her mother, or would you let Emma go parentless and protect your own child? I mean, it's hard to put up others above yourself, but to put others above your child, that's difficult. When the curse breaks, he will be a great man. Yeah. On that day when the curse breaks, he will open his arms out wide and give pride to his welcome home son. There's something eager to await when the curse breaks. Yeah. So now you know the true story. Emma wasn't sent alone. Emma was given Pinocchio, who was supposed to protect her. Unfortunately, we all know Emma grew up an orphan and Pinocchio left her. Because when he came into town, he didn't recognize who August was. So it's not a spoiler. Pinocchio didn't keep his promise. He started to lie, be untruthful, and he started to be selfish. And that's why he's turning back into wood now. And if the curse doesn't break, he'll never be real again. Therefore, the end of Pinocchio is not as happy as you believed it was at the beginning of the episode. Okay, this is serious because now Pinocchio or August is trying to make up for his childhood mistakes. And even though he's turning back into wood, it's not too late to be selfless, brave, and true. So watch as he's trying to get Emma to believe. Let's see if it works. Emma, baby though, she's not going to remember that. You were 7. There's Pinocchio arriving to the real world. That's an airplane. He, he remembers. He remembers. He was never cursed. Aw, Pinocchio and Emma Swan. What a cute dynamic. That's Emma in the real world. This must be sweet. Pinocchio's too young to take care of a baby, though. Exactly. He's Pinocchio. And he's not lying this time. Hmm. Oh, it's not the ending. There's a season two, three, four, five. We got way more to go. Ending of the cursed season, yes. Season one. She's not going to believe. It's not that simple. You can't make a random person believe in fairy tales, right? Especially if they're an adult, not a kid. Kids are easy to believe, but you can't get an adult to believe in fairy tales. Yep, you were not. You were selfish, unbrave, and not true. You were lying. You broke your promise. That's why you're turning into wood. Mm. Does Emma see the wooden leg? Look what she sees. All she sees is human skin. She does not believe in fairy tales so much that she can't see that they're true. Emma, if you don't break the curse, everyone's going to be ripped away from their families forever. Not true if you believe in the gospel, but this is a TV show where that is the case. The only way for everyone to be together is by breaking the curse. They're trying to get Emma to believe in fairy tales. I've had similar experiences on my mission trying to get people to believe in the gospel, and that was some situations are difficult than others. Aw, cute. Imagine having a baby sister. I can imagine my cousins doing that to my youngest cousin. Her name's Daylin. Anyway, imagine my cousins doing that to Daylin. Just kidding. He didn't like how the man was treating him. So he took the temptation. Oh, Pinocchio, you're making a wrong decision. You fell into temptation. You fell into temptation. You're sinning. You should have been there for Emma. Then she would have not grown up alone. No. Don't leave her. This is sad. Pinocchio made a bad decision. It haunted him the rest of his life. One mistake, one thing can change your whole world. Just kidding. There's He's repenting now though. I used to cry during this episode. This was sad when I first watched it. When he's talking about his father, he's talking about the man in front of him, but he knows that this old man's cursed and he doesn't know that Pinocchio's his son because the curse doesn't allow that. Until the curse breaks, until the curse. Aww. He wants to help this old man out because he knows that's his father, but his father doesn't know that's his son. And until the curse breaks, they'll never know their father and son. I know, aren't you just dying for this curse to break? It's so close. We have 2 episodes left. We're almost there, guys. The curse ripping everyone away from their loved ones will finally be resolved and broken. He's gonna sneak out of the house. They're leaving Storybrooke. Emma, you can't leave everyone abandoned. Your whole family is in Storybrooke. If you leave, the curse will never break. And that's the end of the episode. She's leaving Storybrooke. That's not good. She's the only one who can break the curse. Emma, Emma, Emma. No. Okay, so yeah, push the next episode. And then once you push it, rewind it. 43 minutes, 48 seconds should be on the timestamp, but don't push play it. So yeah, Emma's leaving Storybrooke. That's not good if we want the curse to break, right? So yes, so August is Pinocchio, and that's not a lie. He may have lied about being Rumpel's son, but no, he's not lying about this. He's Pinocchio. Now we have that resolved, and you can get that out of the way. Now with the reveal of him being Pinocchio and Rumpel wanting to find his son when the curse breaks, we are already set up for the curse to break. We just have to get through one more episode before the season finale. And this is our 3rd episode for tonight. Normally we would stop after after this next episode, but we got another one after this, so we're only halfway done. But yeah, we're gearing towards the end here, guys. Season one. Can't believe we're gonna finish it. One season down, and we got many more to go. So don't think that the show's about to be over, because I know, as August said, that this is the end of the story, and we're writing it right now. No, 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 no. That's just the end of season one. The show is so popular that it continued, and we got a long ways to go. It's not going to be over till, I told you, this marathon would take us a year if we watch 3 episodes a week. In this case, we're going to do 4 tonight, but 3 for the most part, right? We will. It's not going to be over for a year still. So, yeah. So this is we're going to start the next episode. This is the episode before the finale, but we're getting there, guys. We're getting there. The crystal break. We're going to start the episode just now, because we're running a little bit behind. I'm not going to talk too much. All right. Okay. 43 minutes, 48 seconds. We're going to push play in 3, 2, 1, now. And we get a recap. Someone I love. Now, take it back, my son. Here goes. Battle of good versus evil. Flying is on the curveball. Remember this? Dwarfs can reel you. We're about to see the 7 dwarfs in action. Yep, they're leaving Storybrooke. And there you have it. Snow White and the 7 dwarfs. The real Snow White and the 7 dwarfs. Not the lazy Disney version. The ones that kick butt. And there's Regina and Henry having dinner. Henry's gone. Uh-oh, Henry has the ropes. They're gonna kill her. Black apples, rotten to the core. Reminds me of Descendants. What a nightmare, right? Don't kill Regina. Okay, if you thought that was gonna get violent, that was just a nightmare. The curse has not yet broken yet, but we are getting there. Phew. She thinks Henry is still in his bed, but he's not. Just has a flashlight. That's a great cover up for wanting to leave with Emma. Kids watching this, don't ever do that to your mother. Don't ever take control of the wheel. Exactly. You could have gotten your mother killed if you took over the wheel like that. Uh-oh. He loves Snow White over Abigail. It's just water. Of course, the show wouldn't be that violent. Regina saved Charming's life. I wonder why. Because Regina hates Snow White, King George hates Charming. So it's like they have something in common. Two villains working together. The apples are dying, Regina. Your apples are dying. You're losing. Curses episode away from breaking. Yep. If they kill Emma, the curse breaks anyway. So you can't you can't have both. You can't get rid of Emma and keep the curse unbroken. Yep. There's no magic in the real world. I just had a trip and I can't believe it's coming to an end. Exactly. When the curse breaks, everyone's going to be mad at you, Regina, for ripping them apart. That's metaphorically speaking. Probably all excited how this is all going to go down. Things are picking up pretty fast. We haven't seen Jefferson in a while. She put a guard on Grace's bike. Orange juice. We actually had that, and my parents used the rest of it earlier today. Back to the person. You're reverting back to who you were, a Bell's Bonds person. You figure it out. Exactly. Emma, you're Henry's mother. You figure out what's best for him. You shouldn't take him out of Storybrooke. That's not a good idea. They're going to come back and save Charming. Yep. Now we know Snow White couldn't keep a secret, so Daniel died in the process. And that was Regina's true love. And now she wants to kill Snow White's true love. Well, not kill him, but use him in a way. Poison apple. You're probably wondering when that was going to come into play because that's part of the story, a fairy tale outside of Once Upon a Time. And Jefferson, back from episode 17, 20, episode 21 now. You put the card in her drink. Cool. Hmm. 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 Stop her from breaking the curse. Okay. All the seven dwarfs and Snow White and Granny and Red are going to war against King George and Regina, the evil queen. The battle of good versus evil has begun as we approach the end of the season soon. Season finale follows right after this. Yep, Stealthy died here. If you remember that. I like that music. That's the Once Upon a Time main theme song. Fairies attack. Henry already believes, so he sees the wood. Emma couldn't see that. It's real. The curse is real. Yep. Mhm. Yep. Everyone's giving up on the curse. Emma won't believe. Yeah. I would do the same thing. I would go be with my father on my final deathbed, right? Pinocchio was days away from dying. A sleeping dragon. That's a good joke. Mhm. It's a tough fight, tough custody fight. Emma versus Regina. Who's the mother? Charming's not there. Aw. Exactly. They keep getting separated. Yep, the stables where you told the secret about Daniel to Cora. Oh, we all think she's gonna die. We all know what happens. Snow White doesn't die. She just eats the poison apple, and then Charming wakes her up, and then the evil queen threatens a curse. Aw, Daniel. Is your revenge more important than your fiance? Really, you choose your revenge over Daniel. I thought that was the whole point of your revenge because you love Daniel. So funny. Oh boy. Oh, the show. Yep. An apple. Yep. An apple red as blood was the title of this episode. Is the title of this episode. And will ever be the title of this episode. I'm saying past tense. So I was like, the episode title doesn't change over time. I don't know. If I had to give these all new episode titles, what would I call them? She doesn't even disguise as an old woman. She even tells Snow White that it's poison. She's not gonna take it. The apple, poison apple, only works if you choose to eat it. I mean, it wasn't a smart idea. It wasn't a Mhm. It wasn't smart to tell Snow that was a poison apple, but she does have charming custody, and she could take it to save his life, so Snow White gave her own life to save Charming's, and she ate it. There she goes, down on the ground, and it will be up to Charming to find a way to escape, and then wake her up and start the pilot all over again. If you remember how if you remember how the show started. Wait, watch this, watch this, watch this. Portal. Where'd that apple go to? It went from the past to the present. First form of time travel. Object time traveling, not human time traveling. It's Snow White all over again. Now you're gonna get Emma to eat it. That will set up a great finale. Snow White. This season is so Snow White heavily based, and we all know how Snow White ends. She eats the apple, and then Prince Charming wakes her up, and they live happily ever after. That's the way season one is. Emma eats the apple, they kiss, and they live happily ever after. Emma doesn't have a Prince Charming though. There's a little twist to this poison apple story though. You'll see. I won't spoil. Let's just say Emma's not going to be the one eating the apple.
And can I replay your live?
What?
Can I replay your live?
Yeah.
Can I start from the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
Or does it have to be after you're done?
You can rewind it. Sorry, I was talking to my mother. She wants to start the whole live stream from the beginning. That's 2 hours of time she needs to catch up on. Yep. There's not a single world where Emma's not in Henry's life. That does not exist. You have no choice but to both be his mothers. Oh, Regina's still going with her plan to poison her, even though she literally said she's leaving town. And Regina still wants her gone. Gone, gone, gone. Not just leaving town, gone. Dead, gone. Anyway, sorry. Enjoy the show. I'm excited for the next part. I don't. I don't like fruit. I'm picky. You can't get me to eat a poison apple. She's not breathing. Mhm. Yep. Travel insurance, is that a thing? No one's going anywhere. I like that. Exactly. Rumple can pay it. He's gonna go find his son. You can't stop him from that. Wow. Regina's throwing a number on Rumple. You wanna make him angry? Regina, you're overpowering Rumple here. You're preventing him from finding his son. Luckily, she can't prevent him for long because the curse is gonna break in the next episode. This is important, guys. This is emotional. Get your tissues ready. A show doesn't normally kill a child, but just watch. You'll see. Henry thinks he can't do anything to stop her from leaving. Get rid of the savior. Henry went through extreme lengths to make sure the curse would break. And this is how he does it. He kills himself to death. Yep, see, I told you Emma wasn't going to eat the apple. They did it to Henry. Now, True Love's Kiss will break the curse. So don't be threatened. This is not that violent. They are not going to kill a child on the show. So anyway, we're going to watch the season finale. And it may be True Love's Kiss that might break the curse. Yes, it's not really a spoiler at this point. So anyway, we're going to get to the season finale, but let's push to the next episode and have it on pause, but I don't have really anything to say. But I want to make sure we start at the same time. Okay, we're going to pause it. Okay, when it says previously on Once Upon a Time, pause it, rewind it, and when you have it at 0 seconds, there should be 43 minutes and 33 seconds. If you're not there yet, I'm only giving you a few seconds because I have nothing else to say. Or I'm just ready to get through this finale and be done for the night. So, again, no Q&A tonight. We're going to get through the rest of the season. Let's get through this last episode together. We're finally going to finish season 1. The curse is finally going to break. Henry has ate the poison apple. Now we're on to the final battle of good versus evil with True Love's Kiss in the end. So here we go. What will Emma have to do to break this curse? All right. So again, 43 minutes, 33 seconds. We're going to start. There's nothing to talk about. It was pretty self-explanatory in that last episode we just watched. Snow White was trying to find her prince. Found out he was taken to the queen's castle. Snow White, and then the queen used it as an ruse to bring Snow White in. Have her eat the apple or Charming dies. And now we're going to pick up where we left off in the flashback as well as the present, where Henry eats the apple. And yeah, how are they going to get out of this mess? So, all right, we're going to start in 3, 2, 1, now. Previously on Once Upon a Time. Here we go. The final episode of the season has finally begun. How will this curse break? Like I said, we're picking up where we left off in the flashback, which is pretty rare. It only happens on season finales. I mean, we always pick up from flashbacks in later episodes, but to have it be the next follow-up episode is rare. It's the huntsman. We haven't seen him. We haven't seen him since he died in episode 7. Remember that? I told you he would have come back in a couple episodes. And our title sequence, the curse. This is a sign that it will break in this episode. Not in the series finale or whatever. It's gonna break in season 1. Playing magic. The curse is real. Come on, Emma. It's time that you believed. Look, she picks up the book and look what happens. Her baby memories come back. Who ever gets a baby memory back in their head? That is not normal. I will never remember when I was born. Maybe in the spirit world, but not here. Emma remembers when she was born. House Charming put her in a wardrobe. It's funny. That was the only way she was going to believe in fairy tales, though. Honestly. It was supposed to keep the curse unbroken by sleeping the savior, but that didn't work, Regina. Yep, Emma believes in fairy tales, but the curse is still not broken yet. In case you're confused, she believes in fairy tales though. Finally, but the curse has not broken yet. It will break in this episode. Still, I didn't lie about that. He's mine. Bum, 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 bum. I know that song. I know that music anyway. Sword fight. Charming versus Rumple. Who wins? Good versus evil. Who wins? How is Charming going to defeat a person who's undiable? Pretty much. Dark one never dies. At least not like this. He's the dark one. He can't die. Sorry. No, because you broke her heart. She doesn't want you to stay. She wants you to leave out of her life. Hmm. No, David, you screwed up. You messed up. But don't worry, this was not your fault. It's all the curse. I mean, I know, I know you messed up and there's nothing more to say, but this really is the curse. Once it's broken, everything that happened in season one won't matter. Rumple loved Belle, remember? Don't forget about Belle. No one forgot about Belle, right? Beauty and the Beast, Rumple and the Belle. For a rainy day. Do you guys know what they're talking about? I would say, but I don't want a spoiler. Listen to this line. Your father's sword. Now she believes in fairy tales. She knows her parents are Prince Charming and Snow White, but upon finding that out, she hasn't seen Mary Margaret since. So it's going to be an interesting reunion when she finally does save Henry and meet her parents for the first time when the curse breaks. Boy, this has been an emotional, great season. Incredible tale of secrets, sacrifice, heartbreak, and wonder, leading to a season finale that is unforgettable. You'll never forget. Hey, isn't Regina known for being late? Sorry I'm late all the time. Evil, evil. Regina. She's not being evil in this episode. She's taking a good turn for the first time. If you kill her, you're leaving a son motherless. Not true because of Emma, but she has to go save her son. She's making the right choice by not dealing with Jefferson right now. Us. Aw, that was August's last breath to tell Emma that she could do it. She's the savior. And he died just saying that. That's sad. Okay, come on, Emma. Don't let his death be in vain. You gotta break this curse. Regina, stick to your word. She will kill you if you are responsible for Henry's passing. Emma, and funny thing too, Emma knows who her parents are, and we're not going to see that emotional reunion until next season. Whoops, didn't mean to do that. I have an itch on my foot, and I bumped into a drawer just trying to itch it. Aw, it's moved on. the dragon, Maleficent. Remember Maleficent? We haven't seen her that much, but if you remember in episode 2 when Regina had to give up her heart, something like that, when Regina had to give up her father's heart to make the curse happen, um, she was best friends with Maleficent and had to get the curse back because what wasn't shown in this flashback was that she borrowed the curse from Sleeping Beauty or Maleficent, and in return, Maleficent took the curse from her, and then she needed it back, the dark curse that brought everyone to this land. It's cold parallels right here. We have Emma and we have Charming both fighting the dragon. One's putting the potion in the dragon, one's taking the potion out. That's a good story. We saw that in the pilot. The show started with Snow, with Charming waking up Snow from the sleeping curse. And this is the flashback leading up to that, so it kind of brings the show full circle for season 1. No, it doesn't always have a happy ending, but never give up believing in one. Nope. You're out. It's Jefferson. He wants to get even with Regina. So he's gonna do something that Regina doesn't like. What's he gonna do, guys? Be quiet. Don't tell anyone I was here. Sorry, my ear itches. I can't wait to get these headphones out of my ear. We're almost done. Mhm. Take it. Rumple's being good on his deal this time. Do it while he's being good. hmm We all know how that story ends. We saw it in the first episode, and it's going to be repeated now. A gun's not going to work. You have to use the sword, like Charming did. Do it, Emma. Do it, Emma. Do it. Be the savior that everyone needs you to be. Be the hero. Throw the sword right in the chest of the dragon. Maleficent must die. There she goes. There goes the dying dragon. If you don't remember Maleficent from the beginning of the series, it was the first villain crossover before the princess crossover. Can't believe we came this far. And yes, sad will not see Maleficent again ever again. Bum, bum, bum. And we've seen this scene before. Remember this when we started our marathon? This is how it began. And this is how this season shall end. The wedding before the curse was cast. And the curse that was broken before there was a bigger curse. The curse before the curse. That's funny. The sleeping curse before the real world curse. We've seen this scene before. The story comes full circle. This scene was not in the pilot. This is new, right here. The proposal. Have you ever wondered when Charming proposed to Snow White? Did you think it was before the sleeping curse or after the sleeping curse? It was after. Because they got married after, so they might as well be fiance afterwards, too. This is a rare proposal. When you ask someone to marry them, their answer is yes or no. It's not, what do you think? It's yes, of course. But that's an answer. I'm a boy, so it won't happen. But if my wife proposed to me, I'd say, what do you think? Actually, whoever I marry, that's what I should tell them. That, hey, if I ever propose to you, this is what you should say. What do you think? Aw. They took back the kingdom. We all know they succeeded because how did they get the castle with Emma being born? Remember? They got married. They defeated King George and the evil queen until the queen cast her curse, of course. And then they lived happily ever after until Emma was born. And then this happened, the present day. But, the story comes full circle. Flashbacks are complete, and the story is understandable. So I know you were confused at first, but I hope you're connecting all the flashbacks, even if they're out of order. It should Kind of makes sense by this point. I mean, the show's going to get more confusing when we get into season 2, but everything you learn from season 1 should be understandable by the finale. So, and there's Charming leaving Storybrooke. I hope the curse breaks before he leaves, because something bad will happen to him if it doesn't break. Rumple betrayed him. Rumple betrayed him. Rumple's a double crosser. Told you he was no good. He made a good deal with Charming, but not a good one with Emma. Rumple's evil in the real world. It's the hospital. It's too late. There's no time to catch gold now. We gotta run back to the hospital to see if Henry's still alive. Hmm. You're too late. Aww. Aw, you're too late. Henry's gone. Mm-hmm. And there's no magic in this world, so who knows if True Love's kiss will wake him up. I'm just giving you guys a hard time. Of course, remember what they said, true love is the most powerful magic of all. And the most powerful magic of all is so powerful. It has to exist in this world, right? Rumple, the betrayer. Everyone should be hating him right now for risking Henry's life. Hide it, someone's coming. Remember, Regina lied to him. Regina, now you have Rumple on you. Rumple's hating you now. Remember when in the Beauty and the Beast episode, Regina said that Belle died, and Rumple believed her, and now he's gonna have a bunch of hatred, knowing that Regina locked her up all this time. We all knew Belle was still alive, and you knew that was gonna come back to bite Regina. Now we don't have the whole town hating Regina when the curse breaks. We have Rumple too. And he's the Dark One. He's immortal. There's no getting rid of him. If he wants to kill you, he'll kill you. We saw him turn people into snails, crushing them. As far as Henry goes, this is sad. What the heck of a rainbow is that, guys? Henry's alive. I told you, True Love's kiss does work, even in land without magic. It's the most powerful magic, powerful the world can't shut it out. True Love's kiss works in the real world. The curse is broken. Finally, it didn't just break Henry's curse or the sleeping curse. It broke all the curses. It is about time. Everyone remembers who they are. Oh, just before leaving Storebrook, too. You could have been almost hurt because the curse prevents anyone from leaving, right? Now it doesn't, but he was like seconds away from getting hurt. Thanks to True Love's kiss, that won't happen. Charming can go back and find Snow White, can call them by their real names. They're not Mary, Margaret, and David anymore. Curse is broken. I told you it was happening. It's not the end of the series when this happens. It's the end of season 1 out of 7. And don't forget Wonderland. We still have that show too. We got a long ways to go, guys. We're not done. This show is far from over. Of course you do, Regina. Of course you do. Now she does love Henry, but she did a lot of evil things, and she's gonna have a whole mob against her in a second. So she has to go hide before everyone kills her. Everyone's gonna want to get her head for what she did to them. Even though Willie's wrong and revenge is not the answer, not everyone knows that. Like Jefferson and Rumple, for example. Rumple's gonna get revenge on what happened to Belle. Jefferson's gonna get revenge on breaking the deal with him. Regina, you have so many enemies right now. Snow White and Charming are back together as the curse has finally broke at 10 o'clock, 11 Mississippi time. We're almost done, guys. I know it's time to go to bed, but we got less than 5 minutes left. So if you're still watching, you can stick around for a couple more minutes. Poor Regina. She's hiding in Henry's room because she knows what's about to come. Now that the curse is broken, there's going to be a lot of people mad at you. Your cover of being good is over. People know who you really are, and that's a villain. Sad to say, but it's true. Belle's awake. Belle's gonna follow you. She should find out that you're a double crosser. You betrayed Emma. Hmm. What curse are you planning to cast this time? They just woken up. Can't you give them a minute? Here's something important. Listen. The curse is broken, but no one went back to the Enchanted Forest. Why didn't the curse take them back to the Enchanted Forest? Right? That's a good question. Everyone is still in the real world, but they remember who they are, which means they're not ripped from their loved ones, at least. Sorry, guys. Most of the show takes place in Storybrooke, so there's no way they're going back to the Enchanted Forest anytime soon. But they remember who they are, and they're not ripped from their loved ones anymore. Something bad is happening now. Rumble, what did you do? His cliffhanger is what keeps the show going. So if I talked over him, I'm sorry. Rumple's basically saying magic is coming, and Belle's wondering why, but magic is power, is what Rumple replied. So anyway, magic is coming to Storybrooke. And if magic is coming to Storybrooke, that means Regina can have her magic back, and that won't be good. So forget about the whole mob stuff I was talking about, and yep, we'll see what happens in season 2 next week on The Greatest Actor 2020 or Ben Larson on Facebook.com. 8:15 as the curse washes over the clock tower and the season comes to an end. That's Once Upon a Time, guys. Um, well, that will do it for tonight. Why does it want me to unlock perks? I don't want to do that right now. Anyway, sorry. I had an ad pop up. I don't know what that was. So that wraps up Once Upon a Time. I know, what a long night. Getting through 4 episodes is a lot, but we finally finished season 1. So if you made it this far, I congratulate you for doing that. Well, with that said, we're gonna wrap up tonight's episode. I hope you have a great night. No time for Q&A, but the curse is broken. Charming was able to escape from the Queen's castle. He woke up Snow White from her sleeping curse. They're now married. They live happily ever after since until the evil Queen's curse, of course. Then they get trapped in the real world, and now Emma has broken the curse. Yep, she used True Love's kiss to wake up Henry. And well, fortunately, Rumple double crossed Emma and Regina, and he's a villain through and through. But he brought magic to this world, so who knows what that's going to mean for season 2. Everyone gets their magic back. That means that's not good. Who knows what Regina will do to the whole town when they're all about to chase her to death. Everyone's going to be pretty mad at her. Remember her nightmare about being hanged to a tree and being killed for what she did to them. So it's going to be very interesting when we get to season 2, especially an emotional reunion between Emma and her parents. Now that the curse is broken, she gets to meet her parents for the first time. She's met them before, but she didn't know who they were. Now that she knows who they are and that they know who she is, it's going to be an emotional reunion. But we are going to save that reunion for next Sunday. So for now, guys have a great night. God be with you till we meet again. That was a fun season. Can't believe it's over. But until next week, see you. Oh, before I go, I wore my Storybrooke shirt again. I have a problem showing you that at the beginning of the live stream, so probably no one knows that I have a Storybrooke shirt because not everyone stays for the end. But yes, I wore my Storybrooke shirt tonight. I forgot it last week when I remembered to introduce it. So every time when I remember, I don't have it. And when I forget, I have it on. So anyway, welcome to Storybrooke. Curse is broken, but the show's not over. In most shows, they end when the curse breaks. Snow White wakes up from the sleeping curse, Snow White movie's over. But this is different. This show has sequels. It goes on. It's not over. It's not the end of the story. The show will continue with season 2 next Sunday at the same time, 7 o'clock in Utah. I enjoyed the last night of my trip. It was a fun trip. Yes, it was. But until next week, God be with you till we meet again. Okay, this is me really signing off. I know I said goodbye several times, and you're probably gone by now. But if you're still watching, I'm going to end the live stream. So see you next Sunday for season 2. Until then, bye, y'all. That was a long live stream. Now, for those who are watching on YouTube, let me end that stream. Sorry, I just ended Facebook, and I'm going to end YouTube. Yo, Ben, how are you? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Someone said hi to me on YouTube. Great. Sweet. All right, we're ending the live stream. All right, guys, have a great night. Bye.